Hello, this is The Slayer, and you're watching TVLine.com.
Welcome back to another edition of Reality Check, your weekly deep dive into all things unscripted television. I'm Michael Slezak. I'm here with Season 6 American Idol standout Melinda Doolittle. We're going to talk about American Idol, Top 9 Week, and The Voice, the conclusion of Battle Rounds Part 1. Oh, but wait, there's going to be more. Melinda, let's talk about Idol to start. The voters are not playing around this season. It is truly a case of what have you done for me lately, which is a song somebody should cover on Idol.
One of these three could have their Idol ride over for now.
I don't know if it's because they are limiting votes at this point, that people are just voting based on each week. And for the most part, they're getting it right.
We are not going to use our save tonight. I'm so sorry, baby.
I don't think it was her week to actually go home.
Definitely not.
But I understand why she was in the bottom.
It seems like voters are ignoring everything except for the performance happening in front of them. You know, Majesty brought out preschool children. Sam brought out grandparents. And these things, they didn't give them the usual boost that we're used to seeing.
Is your Delilah around? And who is your Delilah?
He said Delilah was his grandma.
I know. And he's still in the bottom three.
I mean, come on.
This kid is quick. My grandma.
Yeah.
Well said.
Let's talk about Majesty for a minute.
Okay.
I graded her very high right after the performance episode because I love that song. I loved seeing a contestant physically get into it with the tambourine and grooving out. I'll admit, I played it back the next morning and I was like, maybe the vocal wasn't really an A-. Maybe it was more like a B. I'm all for contestants stretching the boundaries of what they do or picking unexpected songs, but this was like a case of Julia Louis-Dreyfus trying to be an action star.
I didn't see it that way, actually. I was really excited when I heard what song she was doing, and I thought she's going to bring majesty to this song. And that's what she didn't end up doing. There were parts of this week that it just felt like she was just throwing it out there and hoping like it stuck.
Florence Welch is like, this is like a monster truck of voice. You know, you can't be in a Passat or a smart car. It's not gonna drive on the same terrain as a monster truck. I don't actually have a driver's license, so I don't know why I'm making this.
Wait, what?
It expired like 10 years ago and I just never got it renewed. Let's move along. Before I reveal anything else bizarre about myself, we also have to talk about Sam. I was making our notes for this episode of Reality Check. I could not remember for the life of me what he sang. I remembered the shirt that looked like a cushion from the Kathy Ireland collection for Raymore and Flanagan.
I remembered it better because he called his grandma Delilah. I think that was why I remembered what he's saying.
Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance. I'm right there if you get lonely.
Because all I can think of are just a bunch of light bulbs on the floor. That's all I remember when I think about Sam's performance.
He got upstaged by the light bulbs.
He did, and the gel in his hair. Get it.
J-Lo asked him the exact right question.
Did you have anybody in mind that you were singing to?
Yes.
And what she was really asking was, was there anything going on in your head?
You can just connect a little bit further. So we really get the feeling that, you know, there is a Delilah out there.
Unfortunately, on results night, the Idol producers interpreted it as, let's take a bunch of blonde girls and have them scream like, Sam, I'm Delilah. We love Sam! It was just a blank, emotionally blank.
It seems like there's absolutely nothing going on in his head while he's singing.
We know that none of them have felt this way.
Which is odd and hard for us as the viewer because we cannot connect at all. It doesn't matter where your pitch is. It doesn't matter how pretty your tone is. We just can't. We have nothing to grab onto, and it makes it really difficult.
It's like going to a restaurant and they just set a white plate in front of you. Like, that's a nice plate, but I've got nothing to dig into right now. And CJ, let's be honest, he belonged in the bottom three. If he hadn't landed in the bottom three, I would have assumed he was going all the way to the confetti shower.
I've never heard somebody land above the pitch that consistently.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
It's almost impossible to do. I should say that he's talented just for the fact that he can do that. I don't even know what else to say.
That's one way of looking at it.
At certain points, I was like, is he on the melody? Is he off the melody? I don't know. I couldn't be there with you.
I don't think that's what a song is supposed to sound like. I don't think so. And I'm with you. Dexter, I really would have replaced Majesty in the bottom 3 with Dexter. He picked the exact song you'd expect and delivered it in a subpar, not a terrible kind of way, but just below where the song was originally.
Dexter's probably going to win. He's the one.
No, he's not.
He's the one we have to be nervous about. Why is he still... Okay.
He'll never win. I know you get to say I told you so a lot. I just hope this isn't one of those cases. Like, I refuse to even hear that he's going to win. I won't. I can't.
All right, then.
Let's talk about who we loved this week. Even Randy Jackson knows enough to say that Gina and Caleb are pulling out ahead of the pack at this point. They've had 2-3 killer weeks in a row.
Gina just sang the flip out of that song.
I thought you were going to say something else. That's like, what?
The tone, the dynamics of it all, just the way that she interacted with the band. She understood what the week was about, what the theme was about. I will say this, she picked a song that didn't shock me at all.
No.
When I heard what she was singing, I was like, well, she's going to be great at it. So I did know that. However, I feel like she did even more than what I expected from her.
This is, to me, what makes Idol fascinating. A lot of people who have never been in this position before, that grind and that pressure brings out the best in certain contestants. They're like a seed that gets planted in a sidewalk crack and blooms up, and other ones just start to shrivel and the wind blows them away. I think going into top 13, top 12 week, I was expecting a Majesty Sam finale. That's what I would have predicted. And really, neither one of them has thrived in the way that Gina or Caleb has. And I think Caleb, is a case of somebody who did not shock me with the song choice. This week was tailor-made for him. He needed to rock it. Had he not rocked it, it would have been a big fall for him, but he rocked it.
He didn't do anything different than he's done in weeks past. Like, there was nothing more special about his vocal. It was about Ricky Minor, like, leaning back with his legs just like, bam, like the pocket of it all, and the band lost their minds. It's like the perfect storm is what happened. Caleb picked the perfect song to engage the band and engage the audience. And that's something that's so important, because when the band's behind you, you win. You saw J-Lo, she was like, It was so good. The band was so good.
I would give my third best of the week to Alex. I know the judges did not like it.
It kind of like sucked the energy out of the song. At the end of the day, it did.
This is not a song I would have expected him to pick. And I'm gonna just say again, the One Direction song absolutely is in his wheelhouse. It may be One Direction, but it's One Direction trying to sound more like an adult band. Like, that's One Direction's Mumford & Sons moment. Okay. Picking Don't Speak, total shocker. Took the song in a completely different direction.
Don't speak, I know just what you're saying. So please stop explaining.
When some people get angry, they yell. When other people get angry, they're even more quiet than they've ever been. And that's what he did with that song. The intensity didn't change. It was just the way he handled it. And the jazziness of it, like the little scats that he would do.
Don't speak.
Don't speak.
Don't speak. And I know what you're thinking.
It was very Mrazian with the slapping the guitar and just...
Yes, starting a cappella, starting with just a beat.
We used to be together, every day together.
Although, I'm going to have to give my third spot to Malaya.
I'm intrigued by this.
You actually graded Majesty above Malaya, which...
I did, and I think I still would. I would definitely bring Majesty down from an A- to like a B, but I'd still leave Malaya at a B-.
Well, obviously, America doesn't agree with you, and neither do I. So we'll just say that.
Don't leave me waiting here.
The parts of her voice that you're calling screechy, I don't even understand. Like, I felt like she hit those high notes with such gusto and just, I mean, ease.
I love that she's showing control. I love that she picked a song you wouldn't expect from her. But the latter half of it started to sound like a mess to me. And I'll just say, because the only contestant we haven't talked about this week was Jess Muse.
When the end of the world comes, you're gonna want the redneck on your team.
Sounded lovely, but I mean, in terms of predictability, it was just too predictable.
Caleb and Gina took it over and beyond what their predictability dictated, and she did not.
You don't want to do something that could be compared to Dexter in terms of creativity. I feel like Jess is better than that. She's lucky that we're going to audition songs this week because she'll be able to break out Blue Eyed Lie. I want fire. I want some movement.
You just keep wanting.
Speaking of keep wanting, let's move on to The Voice. We have finished the battle rounds, and yet we haven't because they're giving us a second round of battle rounds.
I'm kind of excited about the second round. I don't know what happened. Like, there was just something about seeing the best of the best kind of go at each other. I don't know why. I'm excited about that, and I haven't been excited this entire battle round.
This Monday's episode was the best battle rounds we had.
Can we just say Josh Kaufman?
You can say Josh Kaufman. He was pretty terrific on Happy.
The growl when he did those screams and just, ooh, I love that man. Ooh, I love him so.
Give me all you got, don't hold back.
I know you were not a huge fan of my favorites this week, and a lot of readers were like, what is wrong with your hearing? But I liked Dawn and Hawks.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just leave it at that.
It's so hard to keep the smile from the face. Losing control, yeah, I'm all over the place.
But I think the other revelation this week was once again Jill Scott. The two Usher battles from Monday night, 3 out of 4 of those kids got much better through the course of her mentoring. And I think Madeline Page, I don't think I thought of her as a contender going into the battle rounds. By the time Miss Jill Scott got her acting level up.
Be starry-eyed, be in love, be an actor as well as a singer.
You're playing the character of those lyrics. I mean, they have character to them, and you have to connect with that character, so you are acting.
All I know is we said hello, and your eyes looking like coming home.
I'm almost mad that no one stole Tanner.
I'm a little mad no one sold Tanner too, right?
I felt like both of them together, and I know that I wasn't supposed to do this, but I really feel like they should date. At the end of the day, it's just so sweet. It was so innocent and pure, but they were acting. They were both into it, and I want them together on the show. I want them together everywhere.
Everything has changed.
The other battle round with Jill Scott was The Piece of My Heart. When she said, this is gutter talk, I just about lost it.
You're approaching it like, yeah, she's badass, but she's also desperate. This is gutter talk.
How much better did Tess Boyer get? She went in there, I thought, about to be destroyed by Bria Kelly, and I actually think Tess won that battle.
She beat her.
Each time I tell myself that I can't stand the pain.
I think Usher chose Bria just because of her track record, but Tess beat her.
Bria has to be very careful to not be so gritty that it's almost a parody. I feel like she just throws in so much that it starts to become too much. There's nothing to contrast it with.
And I hold you in my arms, I feel you once again.
Some of the screams that she went for weren't even, I'm like, that's not even in a key. Like, I don't know exactly what we were aiming for at that point.
You want to take the sports car right around the bend, but you don't want to touch the guardrail.
You don't want to drive it off the cliff. Sorry, I went too far. It's fine.